Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Got a fun one for you today. This is a Dynastar M-Free 118. This is their Freeride Team Pro model ski. Really kind of that specific model for big mountains, deep snow, technical terrain, huge faces, competitive freeride skiing. You know, this is definitely that high-end model that really is meant to, fill the needs of just the most advanced and expert skiers on the planet. Makes a lot of sense when you think about where Dynastar is located in the Chamonix Valley, that they design and build a ski like this to handle those specific mountains. And that's kind of why you see it as a favorite in Freeride World Tour events and just other big mountain competitions, and on the feet of some of the most progressive and aggressive skiers on Earth. So really cool ski here from Dynastar. They do use their poplar hybrid wood core. Poplar, really nice, light, energetic wood. And then the polyurethane along the sides extends into the ski. They started playing around with it a few years ago, more just kind of in the forebody. And then they expanded it just to be the whole sidewall, basically extending the sidewall into the ski along the edges. And that polyurethane material, not too dissimilar to what we see in like a 120 Flex ski boot, actually makes the skis feel really smooth and energetic, and just does a great job at keeping the weight down, the energy high, and the stability at a premium. So it pairs really well with that poplar wood core. Additionally, that poplar core is wrapped in their fiberglass torsion box. So full fiberglass wrap around that wood core, kind of like a fiberglass sock, if you will. And what that does is it uses fiberglass in a three-dimensional format. So vertically along both sides, kind of butting up against that polyurethane. And when those things go together, it makes for a stiffer blend of material. So anytime you're putting fiberglass vertically, you're enhancing the stiffness of that product. Pretty sturdy build overall. Definitely with the mass and just overall volume of the ski, does add up in terms of weight. This is the 189, 2,400 grams on the scale. So definitely not a feather, but you're going to want that. You're going to want that power when you're using this in the appropriate terrain and at the anticipated speeds. So nice to have the weight there. Just gives you more confidence and control in any type of rugged conditions and terrain. Full sidewall ski here, so definitely has that kind of race or at least top-end heritage brought into it. Certainly more business-like, but there is, a good amount of fun and character in the profile. Very much of that mustachioed shape here. Really some good positive camber underfoot. That camber underfoot has really kind of filtered into these freeride skis over the past few years in terms of allowing for edge grip on really technical terrain. These upper level skiers found that while full rocker was great for deep snow, it didn't help out too much whenever you got into anything sketchy. So that's why this camber exists now in these really wide skis, just giving it more of that performance that is necessary to kind of tame and conquer these big mountains. Decent tail rocker in the back, some good splay in the front. I mean, it's not much more than what we see in some other skis of this range. I think the taper is a little bit more of a part of the story here. That sharper tip shape really just allows you to point a straighter line down the hill, and that's reflected in the turn radius as well. This thing in the 189 is 24 meters, so pretty straight shooter. There's not a huge bow here in the taper, so it's not going to just pop right out. It's going to cut through. And then in the tail, somewhat similar, but a little bit wider, less dramatic in terms of that taper, rounder versus sharper. So that's going to give you a little bit more playfulness on the tail end of the turn. And then appropriate rocker, nothing crazy, not as dramatic splay as we see in some other big skis. And that kind of lends to the more competitive aspect of it and just makes it more in tune with what you're going to be actually doing in terms of the ski's intended use. But great option for those that are spending a lot of time in big mountain areas, around here, in North America, like Jackson Hole, Canadian Rockies, bigger mountains like that. That's where you're going to see something like this really come to life. And then, of course, bigger mountains in the world out in Europe. That's kind of where this thing really comes into its own. So make sure you check out this Dynastar M-Free 118 here at skiessentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.